Bro, this question pisses me off. Solving the stupidest debates. Let's watch it.
If there's one thing people like to do on the internet, it's argue. And I personally think a lot of these debates can be looked at objectively. Now, some questions are obviously deeper than others.
Other niggas had your bitch outside.
It wasn't my bitch.
Then shut the f up in 2020.
You sound dumb.
But as you read the title, these are ones that I consider stupid.
Where's the parachute? I thought you said parachutes.
And ones that can be answered pretty easily. But when I look at some of the most popular arguments, I realize that we really just be fighting about anything. Water, is it wet?
Bro, this question pisses me off. Yes, water's wet. Like, what else makes something wet besides water, right? Water makes it wet. So how is water itself not wet?
Is water wet has to be a troll. What do you mean is water wet?
Thank you.
And for the people that are still confused on my stance, yes, it is. I don't know about you, but this looks pretty wet to me. Yes, the implications of something being wet is a solid interacting with the liquid and making it wet. But deep it though, even though water is a liquid, water is covered in water, right? When was the last time you had one water molecule? If you're gonna sit here and tell me water's dry though, you are a complete jester. Anywho, next question.
Is a hot dog a sandwich? Damn, is it a sandwich?
A sandwich. Now, if you're not a complete lunatic,
I guess, no, it's not. It's not.
everything in your mind is telling you a hot dog is not, in fact, a sandwich.
Word,
but it's
yeah.
the same sort of thing as the is water wet argument. You know, like the definition and the outline of what a sandwich is would technically make a hot dog a sandwich. That would be if a meat rocket was not its own category of food. Do not put meat missiles in the same conversation as sandwiches. Just look at the way you eat a sandwich versus how you eat a meat rocket. These are two very different experiences. And also, a sub technically has that same
You know who could answer that question? Joey Chestnut.
sus shape to it. And most people will consider that a sandwich. In my personal opinion, subs are way more sandwich-like than a glizzy, and Franks also only have one bun. It's not even close to being a sandwich if it only has one bun. I'd say that's closer to a pizza than a hot dog is to being a sandwich. But I was already pissed off reading some people's backwards logic for why a hot dog is the same as a sandwich, but then this nigga has to say it's a taco.
Look,
Bro,
some people need to be
oh my
gone, bro.
God.
You know what I'm talking about? In order for shit to get better. He one of them.
And for our next debate, this is a pretty recent one that went really viral, and that's 100 men versus one gorilla. And from my observations, this
I really hope he says 100 men win, okay? 100 men, okay? 100 even average men can take down any animal, bro, except maybe an elephant or a rhino. I don't see how we're getting that dub, right? But if we can use sticks and stones to fight, bro, you're telling me 100, the gorilla's gonna get tired. Wave one, wave. I'm talking, you have to have 100 men that are willing to die. Get 100 prisoners. You say, you fight this gorilla, you're free. You're free to go. They're winning every time.
one is like a 70-30 split, with 70% of people believing the gorilla would win and the other 30 believing the men would win. But personally, I think if you had like 60 people all dedicated to f***ing up this gorilla, I don't think it stands even a chance.
Not a
One
chance.
100 people, bro. 100 people is just overwhelming numbers. You got 2 people grabbing each arm. You got 2 people grabbing each leg. Someone.
Okay, but you're gonna need more than 2, bro. you're gonna need about 6 people on each arm, maybe more.
Kicking straight meat. Like, tell me I'm not onto something. Okay, I was in fact not onto something. The original plan was just to glaze 100 humans and talk about how we would just overwhelm the gorilla, but I took it to myself to ask ChatGPT for help. And in order to get a representation on how difficult it would be to fight the gorilla, I asked what animals is weak to humans as humans are to gorillas. And since a gorilla is roughly 4 to 9 times stronger than a human, ChatGPT came up with a common marmoset. Now, what the fuck is a marmoset, you ask? I was picturing something maybe the size of a small dog.
What the dog doing?
Why is it the size of a human head? I am easily clearing through 500 of these. But then again, I'm also more intelligent than a gorilla, so I'll at least have some strategy. So who knows, bro? Until I see 100 men fight a gorilla, I'ma just have to leave this one open. But for our next debate, I'm not gonna give it any build up. It's this fucking dress.
Okay. It's blue and it's black. All right? It's not gold and white or gold and purple. What did people say it was? It's blue and black. I don't care. I do not care. You do not see another color unless you're colorblind.
And if you see black and blue, you're lying, but the dress is in fact black or blue. You know, just because one thing is one way doesn't mean the same thing can't be another way.
What the hell are you talking about, bro?
Because, yeah, the debate has been closed for a minute now. The person that took the original photo took another one and said it was black and blue. And it was, in fact, the lighting of the dress that affected how it looked. And I'm not even trying to be different, all right? But I'd honestly say the dress is gold and blue. And I knew I wasn't tripping, all right? Color Select says that's the colors that are projecting into my eyes. So, yeah, the real dress is black and blue, but this ass photo is gold and blue.
Yeah,
and another
it is.
debate that Is cereal soup? And before you even say anything, yes, I know the argument, solid food inside liquid, served in a bowl. Technically, that is soup behavior. But we just all know cereal is not soup. If somebody hands me cereal and calls it soup, I don't trust the hands that prepared that food. Okay, on to our next debate. How many holes does this shirt have? First of all, what kind of fucking shirt is this? This is some shit niggas would wear if it was Rick Owens.
Okay, technically it has 4 holes, right? There's 2 holes that you see on the front, but it's also got a back.
But I'm not gonna lie, this one's more like a riddle because a lot of people forget to include
4.
the hole in the neckline and the sleeves.
Ah,
underneath.
damn
You know,
it.
Most people would say it has 2 holes, but
Can't believe I fell for that.
So this wasn't really a debate until people started arguing on whether a hole is just one hole, if it has an entry and an exit. But for the answer to this question, I'll simply have to say that holes don't actually exist. They're nothing but a concept, alright? Because think about it for a second. A hole is literally just the absence of something. It's not a thing you can hold, it's not a thing you can grab. It's just where something used to be, but isn't anymore. Which means, technically speaking, a hole is just nothing.
But it's still a word to describe nothing, right? It's still something. This dude's getting philosophical.
But now my brain's overheating, so instead let's just move on to a debate that's somehow even more pointless, but also way bigger.
Massive, dude.
This is probably one of the biggest
Massive.
debates of all time, and it's gender wars. Who is better, woman or man?
Alani finding out of Orem, Utah. Let's go, baby.
And it all seems to be the same thing, alright? Women saying all men are like this, men saying all women are like this. And at the root of it, it's just clearly a human problem. But apparently that's not a good enough answer.
I wish we could just appreciate both sides instead of arguing like who's better. Like, we both have our own things, right? There's things that naturally guys are better at. There's things that naturally girls are better at. Obviously, there's outliers, right? But I don't know why we can't just appreciate each other.
And no one will stop until there's a clear winner. So who is objectively better? In order to decide this, I've decided to borrow this power comparison system from this One Piece edit. Now it was used to compare Roger and Shanks. We're going to use it to compare man and
Women absolutely have more emotional intelligence than men, though. Undebatable. Women are definitely more emotionally intelligent than guys.
woman. Before y'all complain, this is a very scientific system. 9 in 10 doctors approved. And now we have round 1, strength. Now the men are gonna take this first round. The heaviest weight ever lifted by a man being 510 kgs, and the heaviest weight lifted by a woman coming at close at 325 kgs, which is still insane, by the way. If somebody told me to pick up
right, like it's still impressive. Like the average guy is not lifting that, but a guy that has been training, a guy that takes steroids, a guy that's a freak of nature, 6'8", 450 pounds of lean muscle, bro. It's not a fair competition. That doesn't take anything away from how impressive her lift was, right?
125 kgs, my spine would just Gwen Stacy. But sorry, ladies, the men are gonna take this one. And for round 2, we have speed. Okay, let me just stop. Because at the end of the day, fighting about gender is so pointless. Because what is the desired outcome here? The complete annihilation of the opposite gender? Because last time I checked, the human race requires both sides of the argument to even continue existing. And what I
Exactly.
find so stupid is giant overgeneralized statements that would imply an entire gender is just the scum of the earth. Like saying kill all men.
What I do?
That would imply there's never been a good man that's ever lived ever. Just the addition of the word some does so much. But people don't do it because it doesn't rage bait hard enough. And rage baiting is a reason that 90% of people do gender wars, even if they realize it or not.
Call me delusional, but I think 100 girls can easily beat that gorilla.
And I've heard arguments like it's not all men, but it's enough. Which, what is the implications there? You saying I'm one of the good ones?
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
But look, even if 100 men or women did you the worst 100 times in a row, they still another 4 billion men or women. And now those 100 grimy niggas now represent the other 4 billion. And the end result of this is just
What is the saying? One bad apple ruins the bunch. Like, yeah, there's bad people, right? But that does not make everyone bad.
2 groups of extremely online people convincing each other that the opposite gender is a different species.
The older I get, the more I realize that women are humans.
But finally, for our last debate,
What?
this one might actually be the stupidest one yet. But the question is, if you punch yourself and it hurts, are you weak or strong?
If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. You know what? You know.
This debate is so dumb. If you punch yourself and it doesn't hurt, that doesn't prove you're strong or weak. And neither does punching yourself and being in pain. The only thing you're proving is that you're not incredibly weak. But listen, right? If a kid around the ages 10 to 13
You aren't, honestly, if you punch yourself, you're inherently stupid.
haymakered my unsuspecting chin at full force, right? It's most likely going to hurt. That doesn't mean the kid is stronger than me. It just means I got punched in the face. Unless it's one of those kids that
Sidebar. I watched Fight Club the other night, bro. And last night, actually. Spoiler alert. Duh. It's been out since 1990, get over it. When he realized that he was Brad Pitt's character, I can't remember his name, the whole time, and like you could just see him beating the shit out of himself. That was crazy. Blew my mind. This is a great movie. You should watch it if you haven't, but I kind of just ruined it for you. I'm sorry.
Like in East Bay at 12 years old. Okay, maybe he was stronger than me.
How old are you, man?
But also, if I was to swing full force at Eddie Hall, former strongest man in the world, Big Brother guy. Now, this is gonna go one of two ways. If my theory's correct, I knock this guy clean out. If not, my hand is goneless. But I've been told I end my videos too suddenly. So,
What a great... I like his content, okay? Go sub to St. Dawn, all right? Go... I'm gonna drop this a like. You should do the same. Great video. Go sub to this guy. He's awesome. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. If you enjoyed my reaction, if you enjoyed watching with me, give me a sub, please. I'm trying so hard, guys. Hope I'll see y'all on the next one.